All right, listen up. This is a Code Ninja security advisory. We've got a critical vulnerability on the wire, CVE-2023-23752. You're going to want to pay close attention to this one.
So here's the deal. The threat is CVE-2023-23752. It's a nasty, improper access control vulnerability, and it's hitting Joomla. Now, if you're running any version from 4.0.0 all the way up to 4.2.7, let me be crystal clear, your perimeter is wide open. Okay, let's get into it. Section 1, the disclosure. We're putting this out there under a coordinated disclosure model. What does that mean? It means our sole objective here is to give you the actionable intel you need to lock down your infrastructure, and you need to do it now. Let's walk through the timeline, because this really shows the escalation. It all started back in February 2023 with the initial discovery. It gets announced a couple of weeks later, but here's the real kicker. By January 8th, 2024, CISA adds it to their known exploited vulnerabilities catalog. The bottom line here is this is not some theoretical problem. This thing is being actively and successfully used by attackers out in the wild, right now. The deadline CISA set to patch, it's already passed. This is a 5-alarm fire.
All right, moving on to Section 2, the comms check. Now, before we tear apart the exploit itself, we need to do something important. We have to establish a secure channel. Why? Because this is absolutely critical for you to get future threat intel in real time.
Protocol step 1 is simple. Establish the secure comms link. Subscribe to this channel at Cybertext79 and make sure you hit that notification bell. Think of this as your early warning system. It's non-negotiable.
Step 2, acknowledge you've received this intel packet. Go ahead and hit the like button on this advisory. That's your way of confirming the comms link is hot and you're receiving.
And finally, protocol step 3, report your status. Drop a comment below, just patched or vulnerable. This isn't just for us, it helps the entire community get a real-time census to understand the true blast radius of this thing. Do it now.
Okay, comms check complete. Good work. Now we're moving on to Section 3, the exploitation protocol. It's time for the deep dive. We're going to pull apart this attack vector so you know exactly what you're facing.
So what's the core issue here? It's a classic case of improper access control. That's CVE-2023-23752. To put it simply, Joomla's code just doesn't check for credentials at certain API endpoints. It's like a bouncer at a club who just lets anyone in if they say the magic word. It's trusting user input when it absolutely shouldn't, and that leaves a massive door swinging wide open. Now, look at this. Because the simplicity here is just stunning. A normal, legitimate request to the API gets blocked, right? It asks for authentication, as it should. But the attacker's request? They just tack on $public = true to the end of the URL. That's it. That one little parameter completely bypasses the authentication check. It's basically a skeleton key that unlocks 241 different API endpoints. Unbelievable!
And what do they get for their troubles? Well, this is the payload. As soon as they bypass that authentication, the server just hands over a JSON response with the crown jewels. We're talking your database hostname, the username, the password, the database name, everything. Full database credentials, no questions asked.
So just how big is this problem? Let's put a number on it. According to census data, we're looking at over 1.4 million potential Joomla sites exposed worldwide. Think about that. That is a massive, massive attack surface.
But, that big number doesn't even tell the whole story. This is where things get really, really urgent. Yeah, over 1.4 million sites are potentially at risk. But census data shows that about 7,000 of those sites also have their MySQL database port, that's port 3306, just sitting open to the internet. For an attacker who just got your database credentials, well, those sites are the low-hanging fruit for a complete takeover. It's game over.
Okay, we've analyzed the threat. We understand the attack. Now it's time to act. We are now executing Section 4, the mitigation protocol. Listen carefully, because these are the critical steps you need to take to secure your perimeter immediately.
Here's your 4-step plan. Don't skip any of these. Number 1, patch. Immediately. Upgrade to Joomla version 4.2.8 or later. This is your number 1 priority, period. 2, harden your database access. That means closing port 3306 to the public. If you absolutely can't, then you must restrict access to only trusted IPs. 3, deploy a WAF rule. Get your web application firewall to block any GET requests to that API/endpoint that contain public = true. And finally, number 4, assume you've been breached. Start hunting for indicators of compromise right now.
And to help you with that threat hunt, here's a command you can run on your server this very second. Just tail your Apache access logs and grep for that public equals true string. This simple line will show you if anyone has been trying to use this exact exploit against your system.
All right, last section. Let's talk about the why, the disclosure ethic. Some of you might be wondering, why are you broadcasting all these details? Aren't you helping the attackers? And that's a fair question. The answer comes down to our core belief in coordinated disclosure.
Look, our operating principle is simple. We're sharing this deep analysis for one reason, to make sure the community, that means you, has the context you need to defend your infrastructure. The good guys need the same intelligence the bad guys have. Keeping this stuff secret, that only helps the adversary. We're here to arm the defenders.
At the end of the day, your systems are your responsibility. Execute the protocol we just laid out. Verify your defenses. Don't wait. Stay secure.